What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are in Assetto Corsa to be taking a look at the new SLS AMG that has just been brought into the game, as well as the new Nurburgring sprint circuit that has also just been brought into the game. And we're going to be testing out pretty much both aspects of you got the car and you got the new track. Now, keep in mind that some of my settings aren't totally dialed in yet. As far as like my steering settings, I'm not totally happy with them yet, but nonetheless, I'm going to let you guys hear how this thing sounds first off. Now, the little backfire graphics aren't really the best as far as that goes, but I mean, at least they're there. At least they've made an effort to actually put those in the game. Now, the sounds when you're actually going are pretty much pure Assetto Corsa. There's nothing like crazy new about them, but you do get a nice AMG growl from the engine though. And even if you just get on it a little bit, the back end will come around. I'll show you guys in a second. Even on corner exit, if you're very careful, and then you just give it a little bit of throttle, the back end will come around immediately. Then you just tap it again, and it's gone again. And I'm still not very good with my with recovering from slides in Assetto Corsa, just because of the fact that my settings, like I said, they aren't totally dialed into where I'd like them to be yet. Now, the funny thing about it is the fact that the sounds inside the car are way louder than the sounds outside the car. You'd think it would be the opposite, especially this being a Mercedes. But I mean, then again, you know, it's an AMG car, but also it just feels like they really give you a ton more sound when you're on the inside. Now, as far as the track feel and the feel of the car and everything, there's definitely something to be said for this track. It's an enjoyable track to drive on. It's a fun track to drive on, and there's a lot of cool corners on this track. A lot of I wouldn't say strange corners, but a lot of corners that are fun to actually go around, because you've got everything from your long distance sweepers to corners like this, to tight cornering sections, and it just gives this track a really nice balance. Now, keep in mind, it is a short circuit, or a sprint circuit, I guess I should say, but that doesn't really take away from it at all. Some people think that short circuits kind of have, they just don't have the same amount of punch. I wouldn't say punch, I would say enjoyability as like long circuits, but honestly, I disagree. I feel like short circuits are almost more exciting sometimes just because of how tense they are, and I brake way too late for that corner. Way too late. Hopefully we'll remember that the next time around. Now, as far as testing this thing out on an open area, I may take it to that drift course, but what I want to do before that is just kind of dial in the handling settings and the steering settings a little bit more before I take it there, just because you really, if you want to do well there, you really have to have your settings down, and I honestly don't have them down yet with this car. So Assetto Corsa is a game that's really about getting the settings exactly the way you want them, because if you don't have them the way you exactly want them, or the exact way that you actually like them, then you're not going to enjoy yourself. You really aren't, just because it can result in instant spins like that. And you guys saw that there wasn't that much steering angle of me trying to correct, but it didn't matter. The car just whipped around immediately. And since the sense of speed isn't quite as crazy as, say, something like in Forza, you just have to be a lot more careful going into corners. I mean, that corner, I took it 60 miles an hour. It felt like 30. It looked like 30, but nonetheless, that was 60 miles an hour through that corner. That was 117, and it felt like 50. I don't know. There's just something about the way they have it structured in Assetto Corsa that, I mean, I don't know, maybe some motion blur could fix it. I'm not sure, but it's not quite, it doesn't quite feel fast. I mean, you know, you can tell that you're going fast by looking at the speedometer, but it just doesn't quite feel that fast, if that makes any sense. I mean, a prime example of it is here, out here on the straightaway. Let's actually see if we can get our braking point right this time. Things feel a little bit faster in the cockpit view, but not by much. Not quite perfect, but not too bad either. See if we can get this thing out a little bit sideways again. Just a little bit, nothing crazy. There it goes. There it goes, not bad. I was trying to get it back again. You can see just because of the, and there it's gone again. You can see because of the way the steering wheel is jumping around and stuff, you can see how I have a lot of work to do when it comes to my, my steering settings. And it's also due to the fact that I'm playing on a controller, and Assetto Corsa was designed really for a wheel. And if you want to play Assetto Corsa properly, you need to be using a wheel. I will be using a wheel at some point, but for right now, like I said, it's a controller, and when you're playing the game, you can definitely tell that it wasn't made for a controller. It was made for a wheel, and it makes no apologies for that, that's for sure. It lets you know that you need to be playing this game with a wheel. Oh, don't run off the track. Ah, it's gonna whip. And you can also be precise with a wheel in a way that you can't be with a controller. I mean, I was trying to countersteer that whole time, and it just wasn't having it. Whereas if I was on a wheel, I feel like there would be a lot more, there would have been a lot more opportunities for me to catch the car if I was using a wheel. Brake. Not bad. Keep it to the inside. I was trying to get the tail out a little bit. I mean, it worked, but it worked just a little bit more than I had originally anticipated. You know what's a really cool thing, though, about this particular car, and Assetto Corsa in general, that I really like, though, as I end this this kind of overview of the car and the track, is the fact that in Assetto Corsa, when you're in the interior view, you actually see you see the gears being changed, you hear them being changed, and that's something that not a lot of racing games do. I mean, you hear them change in RPMs, but you don't hear, like, the click of a paddle or the movement of a shifter. And you do in Assetto Corsa. I mean, just listen. You can hear the gears being changed, and that's something that I really like about this game, that I really enjoy about this game. But if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later. And I'm also going to be trying to get my settings down in Assetto Corsa so I can be a little bit more accurate with these tests for you guys. But again, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.